Hey folks, it's Simon here with your Tao Daily video for Thursday the 25th of July 2024. Another pretty bearish session for the markets. Now I know the S&P was only down 0.5% on today on Thursday, but what was kind of a little bit disappointing was the fact that it made a pretty valiant attempt to rally, but ended up closing pretty close to its lows, and we've made a lower high and a lower low today compared to yesterday, and the 8 EMA is dropped below the 21 EMA. So we are in short-term sell mode on SPY. Now, on the 17th of July, I put out a video saying the only way is lower, which kind of articulated my bearish thesis for the market, and of course that has panned out pretty well. So go and check out that video on the 17th of July if you haven't already, because that'll kind of set you up for why I think we're headed for lower lows. Now if we look at the NASDAQ fared even slightly worse. NASDAQ was down another 1.1%, and that's, following the 3.6% dropping the NASDAQ received the day previous. Pretty bearish session, lower high and lower low on the day, and again, just couldn't stick the rally. Now, the NASDAQ in particular is at levels where we could expect to see a bounce. All right, we generally, when an index gets down to this green line, it becomes a buy. All right, usually when we get down here, it doesn't have much further to fall. All right, generally we will get at least a reversion to the mean, and sometimes it can be a big rally. So I think we're due for a bounce, if not Friday, early next week. But ultimately, I expect that bounce will fail, probably somewhere between 480 and 485 on the NASDAQ. And if we do get a failure there, I would be looking to reestablish short positions. Now, I will probably try and play the bounce to the upside in small size, but I think the real money will be made on the next leg lower. Now, the main reason for that is the fact that everybody's still long. Okay, positioning is still crowded, particularly in those mega cap tech names, and you just got to ask yourself, what's going to happen in a crowded market where we see a bounce and it fails? Well, what's going to happen is we'll see a bigger momentum unwind, with all of the people who bought the bounce and thought we were heading to new all-time highs, potentially adding fuel to the fire of selling. So by all means, if we do get a bounce, you can look to play it to the upside if you're nimble and you know what you're doing. But my expectation is kind of the bigger profits will be made on the next leg down. Also, check out my video that I posted on the 18th of July. There I talk about dollar yen and why I think dollar yen is an important symbol to watch here. Dollar yen and NASDAQ, they're kind of the same trade at the moment. They've really been moving in unison. Dollar yen has found its way back almost to the 200-day moving average. We're starting to get some bullish divergences coming in here as well. If we do get a bounce in dollar yen, I think we'll get a bounce in the NASDAQ. Ultimately, I expect both rallies to fail, and probably, yen, you'll be able to long yen again at some point and short NASDAQ as well. But not yet. I would not be shorting. I would not be shorting dollar yen, and I would not be shorting NASDAQ down here. That's what I got for you. I hope it helps, and I'll catch you tomorrow.